Hi, fourth graders. Today is lesson 3. We're going to look at converting fractions to decimals. Today you'll need a calculator, and I want you to use your calculator to divide the numerators of the following fractions by the denominators. So for example, here you'll take 1 divided by 2, 3 divided by 4, 4 divided by 5, 6 divided by 10. Pause the video if you need to. Do each of those and write down the answer that you get. Now, after I put it in my calculator, these were the decimals that I got for these numbers. Here's something that I noticed. These are the decimal names for these fractions. If you divide 1 divided by 2, you get 0.5, 5/10. Check that these are the correct decimal names for the fractions on page 342 and 343 that you guys wrote down. One way to rename a fraction as a decimal is to divide its numerator by its denominator. Today, you will practice using a calculator to rename any fraction as a decimal. Now, if you look at your math journal, page 342 and 343, I want you guys to rename each fraction on these pages as a decimal by using division. Now, yesterday you did the easy ones like 1/2 and 3/4. Today, I want you to do some of the harder ones, like maybe 1/3. So in your calculator, you're going to put 1 divided by 3, and I want you to write just the decimals. You'll do percents later in the week. So write each digit shown in the calculator up to 6 digits following the decimal point. I'll show you some examples of how you should write them. So for example, if you take 1 divided by 6, in the blank, you can either write 0.166666 because it says 6 decimal points, or if you want to write it like this, you can show the decimal is repeating. Now, for the worksheet today, you're going to have to be writing it like this, but if you'd like to shorten it in the back of your book, you can do it like this. If I put in my calculator 3 divided by 8, I would get 375 thousandths, so I'd just write that in the blank. For example, if you put 7 divided by 9, you'd write this in the blank. You'd do 6 digits, and it's all 7s. Now, I know the 7s are going to continually repeat. Your calculator will keep showing it. So if you put this line over the 7s, it shows that it's repeating. Same with 7/12. You're going to show the 3s repeating. Again, for the study link today, you're going to write them like this, but if you'd like to shorten it in your math journal today, you can do this. All right, now after you've done that for all of them, I want you to look at them. What patterns do you see? So if I look some of the fractions that have short decimal names with 1 or 2 or 3 digits after them, I notice that those are some of our easier fractions. Those are, for example, ones that have denominators of 2, 4, 5, 8, and 10. But some of them have a lot longer names, and those are usually ones that have like a 3 on the denominator, a 12, a 9, things like that. When they're shorter, they're easier for us to remember than those longer ones. All right, today for the study link, I want you to do, if you have a hard copy, you're going to do the starred ones. Otherwise, I want you to do the ones in these boxes, okay? And you're going to write them after you put them in the calculator, divide them. And again, you're only going to show so many digits. So here, you'll see 1/2 is equal to 0.5. 1/3 is equal to 0.13. Right up to 6 places after the decimal. Do not use the repeating sign like I used earlier in the video. Complete the ones that are boxed or starred. And then what I want you to do is round the last digit to the nearest number. So for example, if you did 1 divided by 6 in your calculator, you would get 0.166666 repeating. Now, because the last digit is a 6, which is more than 5, I know I have to round that last digit up to a 7. You'll notice up here for 1/3, I did not round the 3 up to a 4 because it's below 5. So if you look at your last digit for numbers, and if it's 5 or more, you're going to round it up. So the 6 becomes a 7. If it's below the 5, you leave it the same. And then on the bottom, you're again going to practice some division. Yesterday you did multiplication, today is division. You can do traditional method or you can do partial quotients, whichever way you'd like. And some of them do have remainders, so when you write them, just put R and then whatever the remainder is. If you have any questions, send your teacher an email.